The Nativity of John the Baptist is a significant event in the Christian calendar, celebrated by millions of believers around the world. Unlike most saints, whose feast days mark the anniversary of their death, John the Baptist is one of the few whose birth is honored with a special celebration. To understand why this day is so important, it's helpful to explore its origin, its historical development, and the unique ways it is observed across different Christian communities and cultures. The story of John the Baptist's birth is found in the Gospel of Luke in the New Testament. According to the account, John was born to Zechariah and Elizabeth, a couple advanced in age who had long given up hope of having children. The angel Gabriel appeared to Zechariah while he was serving in the temple, announcing that his wife Elizabeth would bear a son who would play a pivotal role in preparing people for the coming of Jesus Christ. Elizabeth's pregnancy was considered miraculous, and when John was born, Zechariah regained his speech and praised God. The birth of John the Baptist, therefore, is seen as a moment of great joy and divine intervention, a precursor to the birth of Jesus, which is celebrated 6 months later at Christmas. The origins of the feast go back to the early centuries of Christianity. The date chosen for this celebration, June 24th, is not random. It is set exactly 6 months before Christmas, reflecting the biblical narrative where the angel Gabriel tells Mary that her cousin Elizabeth is 6 months pregnant with John when Mary herself conceives Jesus. This symbolic timing highlights the special role of John as the forerunner of Christ, the one who would prepare the way for the Messiah. Throughout history, the Nativity of John the Baptist has been observed with a sense of reverence and festivity. By the 4th century, the feast was already being celebrated in both the Eastern and Western branches of Christianity. In the Western Church, it was adopted into the Roman calendar, and in the East, it was included in the Byzantine liturgical tradition. Over time, it became one of the most important feast days in the Christian year, second only to those of Jesus and Mary. The day is recognized in a variety of ways across Christian denominations. In the Roman Catholic Church, the celebration is marked by special readings and prayers during Mass, focusing on the story of John's birth and his prophetic mission. The Eastern Orthodox Church, along with many Eastern Catholic churches, also observes the feast, often with a vigil the night before and liturgical hymns that emphasize John's humility and his role as a prophet. Protestant traditions, particularly those with a strong emphasis on the biblical narrative, may also commemorate John the Baptist's birth. However, the level of emphasis varies, with some communities observing it with special services or readings, while others may simply acknowledge it in passing as part of the broader Christian story. What makes the Nativity of John the Baptist especially interesting is the wealth of local traditions and customs that have developed around it, especially in Europe and parts of Latin America. In many cultures, the feast coincides with midsummer, the time of year when daylight is longest. As a result, the celebration often incorporates ancient midsummer rituals, blending Christian and pre-Christian customs. In countries like Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, June 23rd, the eve of the feast, is known for its lively festivities. Bonfires are lit in town squares and on beaches, symbolizing the light of John, who is often described in the Bible as a burning and shining lamp. People gather to sing, dance, and set off fireworks, while some communities hold processions with statues of John the Baptist. In Catalonia, the night is called La Nit de Sant Joan, a time for family gatherings, feasting, and jumping over fires for good luck. In Italy, especially in cities like Florence and Genoa, St. John's Day is celebrated as a city holiday, complete with parades, historical reenactments, and special religious services. The connection to water is also strong, as John baptized people in the River Jordan. In some places, people visit rivers or springs to bathe, seeking blessings and healing. In Eastern Europe, particularly in countries like Poland and Lithuania, the feast is associated with ancient traditions of wreath-making, singing, and floating flower garlands down rivers. These customs are believed to bring good fortune and celebrate the beauty and abundance of nature at the height of summer. In Latin America, the Feast of San Juan is marked with processions, music, and community gatherings. In some places, people participate in water festivals, symbolizing both John's role as a baptizer and the purifying power of water. Through these diverse celebrations, Christians around the world honor John the Baptist not only as a prophet and a saint, but also as a symbol of hope, renewal, and the enduring light of faith. The Nativity of John the Baptist serves as a reminder that even in the ordinary moments of life, birth, family, community, there is room for wonder, joy, and the promise of something greater to come.